Welcome all to the weekly outlook. Boone here from EWPRO. Had a couple of family commitments, so I haven't done a weekly outlook for a couple of weeks, but back again now. So starting with the DXY, nothing's really changed. We got the 5 down. We're looking at WXY, extended wave Y. We're looking for that X2 and a Z down. This in here is still looking very much bullish. So this wave Y may not be over yet. Here the H4. In my last video, I was looking for a Z up, but we never broke that top. So we're getting a larger correction in here. It is looking very corrective. So, yeah. But just, yeah, we have broken that low and we haven't broken the top. On the H1, we got a lower low here on the H1, but doesn't look like we're getting bear hidden. So if you do get a bullish setup in here, you know, you can look to buy breaking the top. For the sell, you really need a bear hidden, and you may have it on the lower time frames. This may be a expanding flat in here for an A, B, C. So you'd have to look for that as well. You know, you'd need impulse down and a sell set up to look for that if you're looking for a flat in here for a sell. Other than that, if you're looking for the buy, you'd want a correction or a flag in here, something to buy. At this stage, there is no buy or sell on it. On the AU on the daily, nothing's really changed. This one has gone a little bit further. We were looking at that WXY, X2, Z down. We had that bull, we lost a bull divergence. There was no bullish divergence. So we're looking for the correction in here and then another one down, giving us that bullish divergence. This is still looking reasonably choppy. You know, so we got the Z up. It hit the first target. We were looking at that bull hidden, and we were looking for that Z up. Bounced off, clean off the H1. Yeah, the H1 100 fib, and we're looking for that target. The first target's been hit, and the second target is at 161.8. I believe we may have lost all the bullish divergence. Bearish divergence. No, we still have the bearish divergence present. This is looking bullish up here still. So we may still get another one up in here. Looking at the H1, yeah, we got a lot of bearish divergence on the H1, so it is starting to get rather risky to buy. And there is really no sell setup on it. And there's really no buy setup either at this stage, you know. So, you know, you really need to wait for a nice setup. EU on the daily. So we're looking at that WX, extended wave Y, X2, and then a Z down. We don't have that bullish, we lost that bullish divergence. So that's why we're looking at that extended wave. So we're looking for the retracement back up to this 38.2 and possibly up to this 50 fib. We don't want price to get past this 50 fib. If it does, it's changing the direction. So on the H1, we don't have H4, sorry, we don't have any bearish divergence. So this is sort of looking like an A, B, C for a flat in here, and we got that A, B, C. So if you do get a sell set up in here, you know, you can look for that sell to go and break the low. We'll have to look on H1 to see if, yeah, see H1, we've got bullish hidden divergence, possible bull hidden divergence. So you really need to wait for this low to be broken. Take out the possible bear hidden and then look for your correction. Or you may get a flag, something to sell after this low is broken, really, for the sell. Because we do have that possible bull hidden. So for the bull hidden, you need that impulse and a bullish flag to buy. At this stage, there's really nothing on it yet. GU on the daily. So we're looking at that WXY X2 with the bear hidden, and we went and broke that low. We've lost all the bullish divergence, like I've mentioned. So I'm just looking for a correction in here, and then another one down to give us that bullish divergence. Now this can be, like I mentioned, you know, this may be a larger flat in here for just like a WXY or an ABC. So that is still possible as well. You know, but the structure itself won't, whatever structure we're looking at won't really affect what the direction that we're looking at. We're just looking for a correction in here, you know, on the daily, for another one down. On the H4, we were looking for the buy. We're looking at that WXY X2 and a Z down. It got up to the first target, that 38.2. It still may give another one up in here to give us that time factor before we get that Z down. So looking at the H1, so, you know, for the buy, you really need a trend line break and a little bullish flag to look for that buy, possibly to go and break that top. We don't really want price to go much further than that 50, or else it'll change the direction. But yeah, it's sort of this was sharp down in here, you know. So it's maybe some sort of a correction as well for an A, B, C, but we should at least go and break this top over here. So if you do get a buy set up on it, you could look for the buy. You really need a little trend line break in here though, you know, on the lower time frames, and a buy setup. And new on the daily. So again, you know, like I've been mentioning, we're looking at WXY. But again, because we have this 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 333 complex correction, we can get a, like I've been mentioning, an A, B, C before we get an A, B, C. So still, I'd be still looking for downside. Do we have a bear hidden here? Yeah, we have a bear hidden. So it is possible that we do get that another one down. Again, this count, it's not so much a count, it's the structure, and we will be looking for downside shortly. Well, when it gives us that sell setup. At this stage, it's not giving us that sell setup. H4, we are getting that bearish divergence. We're getting a lot of bearish divergence. So really, I want a trend line break through here. Now this may, yeah, see, this is rather impulsive in here. So if we do get a bearish setup in here, you can look for the sell to go and break that low. At this stage, there is no real sell setup on it. Looking at the H1, it's a little bit more difficult. I mean, we do have the bearish divergence. But you can see we got a little flat in here for like an A, B, C. So we really need a sell set up in here to look for that sell. If this top here gets broken and we get an impulse up here, well, then you could look for a bullish setup for the A, B, C for another one up to go and break that top. So if you get a bullish setup up here, you know, you could look for the buy as well, just as a scalp. UY on the daily. This one has gone too far in that wave Z. Like I've mentioned, we've got a W, X, Y, X2, and then the Z up. We've lost all the bearish divergence. So we're just looking for correction in here and then more upside. H4. Nothing's really changed since I done my last weekly outlook. We got a WX. We're still in this wave Y. And like I mentioned, we can get a WX, Y, X2, and a Z up as an extended wave in the wave Y, which is very much possible. So we'll be looking for this wave X. Yeah, see, I just say, do we have bullish hidden here? Yeah, see, I believe we have bullish hidden here. So we may get that extended Z wave up for like a WX, Y, X2, and a Z up before we get this larger X2 and then the Z up. Not sure why the Z's down there, but it should be up there. Looking at the Swissy on the daily. So whatever's happening in here, it's definitely a B wave. So we're looking for that C down for an A, B, C before we get the larger A, B, C. If I just go back there, we still haven't broken out here. If I just take this off, we still haven't broken out. We really need to break out of this like channel up here. We could look at this as a channel. It's a B wave, but is there any sell setups on it? On the H4, I believe we're looking for WXY, X2, and then a Z up because we had that bull hidden. Starting to get that bull hidden. That bull hidden never played out. We got a flat in here for an A, B, C with the impulse. So we still can get more upside, but this is a larger correction, obviously. I'll have to remove this because that's wrong. And we'll be looking for more upside. On the daily, we are looking for the downside. And this may just give us a bearish setup in here to look for that sell. But just looking at the price action, we can see that we got a flat in here. So it may be just an A, B, C. So if you're looking for the buy for a larger A, B, C, we really need that impulse up and then a correction or a flag to buy. We get a little sell set up in here. You can look for a sell setup for the daily to fall over. So we're really waiting for a setup to sell or buy. On the H1, well, on the H4, it could go either way. On the H1, H1, it is looking reasonably corrective, but this here you know, you may get some more upside in this little flag here. So you really need a nice setup before you can buy or sell. Looking at the UCAD on the daily. So we're looking at this impulse up here, and all this, whatever's happening in here as a B wave, like an A, a B, and a C. We're sort of looking at this. Well, last time we were looking at an A, B, C in here, and we got that C down. I believe it did break that low. Yeah, so it did break that low. So we got an A, B, C. Do we have bullish divergence? Yeah. Yeah, I believe we do. At this stage, we still have bullish divergence. So we're sort of still looking for it's hard because we can get an A, B, C in here, and then an A, B, C for a larger flat before we get the larger A, B, C. So we are in a large correction. So it does make it difficult to pick the direction. On the H4, we were looking for that. I believe last time, my last week outlook, we were looking at WXY, looking for an X2, and then we're looking for a Z down. We haven't got the correction yet. More than likely, we'll get a bear hidden here, and then we'll get a Z down, finishing off that move, and then we'll be looking for that larger C up. I don't believe there's any. Yeah, so we have the bullish divergence, but this is broken in like sort of 3 waves, the low, so it still can be an A, B, C, and then more downside. This is looking very corrective here, and we're at a low, so it's difficult to sell. I'll be more interested in looking for the buy, but for the buy, we really need a nice impulse. I mean, we sort of got a little impulse here, but look at that as like an A, B, C, like I said, and yeah, it's not really nice. It's not giving us the trade setups to trade in the direction we're looking at. So I'd be staying out of this. If you are looking for a setup, you know, you really need like an A, you get a B in here and a C down here, and then you'd look for a buy setup in here for an A, B, C on the H1 to give you that bearish divergence. And then you'd be looking for a trend line break and a sell setup, you know, like for the sell. But it's, yeah, you're really only scalping, you know. You're risking money you shouldn't be risking when you when it's unclear, you know. Getting on to the GY on the daily. See, this one's gone too far as well. We got that WXY, X2, Z up to the first target. Then we're looking at an A, B, C, but that C wave in the B has really gone too far, and we've lost the bearish divergence. So, I mean, it hit the target, the 100 fib, and it's nearly got up to the 161.8, and we've lost all the bearish divergence. So more than likely, we'll get some sort of a correction in here. So you'll be looking for a sell for at least an A, B, C, and then possibly, you know, you may get that bullish setup to buy to go and break the top. On the H1, you see, it is starting to look very well. You know, you're sort of getting a buy setup on the H1. You know, this here, But all this here, it is looking very corrective. So it may just come up here, give another one down. It could do this for quite some time before you get the trend line break and the sell setup. I'll be looking more interested in like a sell setup for the A, B, C. But we need, again, we really need to wait for that sell setup. For the buy, you can only really buy above the top, and you put your stop loss here, and you're really only scalping because it could just, like I mentioned, it can just break this top and then fall over on you. So yeah. EG on the daily. So we're looking at that larger WXY, X2, very choppy Z down. We got a lot of bullish divergence. This has to go, you know, eventually. It's just got to. Fortunately, it hasn't. You know, we've sort of got three waves up in here, like an A, well, with WXY. We don't have any bearish divergence, so more than likely we'll get some sort of a bull hidden here and another one up. Unfortunately, last time, my last weekly out, I was looking for a bullish setup in here for more upside, and it did give us that upside. It sort of fell under that trend line and then took off. But yeah, really need to go down to the lower time frame to see what we're getting, and we're getting a bull hidden here. You know, you can see that bull hidden. So we get some sort of a WXY, X2, and a Z up. So I'd be more interested in a buy setup, but we really need, you know, you're sort of getting a little, if you get another one down here, it's not really giving a nice buy setup. We want a nice impulse up and then a flag or a correction before you look for that buy. Yeah. Gold on the daily, as I've mentioned many times, you know, this is so many different structures in here that it can be. We had that bear hidden, but we got that 1, 2, 3 down, not breaking that low for the bear hidden to play out. We had that bear hidden here, you know, and we were looking at that WXY, X2, and a Z down, but we didn't get the Z down breaking the low, which made it quite difficult. We still, on the weekly, this is the time factor here, this arrow. So there is still time factor. So we still can get another one down here. I mean, all this, whatever's happening in here, it is corrective. You know, you can see how choppy it is and how many structures we're getting. I'm sort of looking for an A, B, C in here. It's gone too far though. So, you know, this is more of a WXY. So we may get an X2 and then a Z up. On the H4, nothing's really changed on the H4. We're looking at WXY. We're looking for that X2 and a Z up. But is it giving us a, so we got 3 up in here. Another one breaking the low. So we got that bullish divergence. Go to the H1, maybe getting a set up. Yeah, unfortunately, you really, because this is rather impulsive here. There's really nothing here on the H1 that I can see, because, I mean, we have bullish divergence between the lows, but we're still within this impulse here. Well, within this impulse here. So, and we sort of got 3 up in here. This one didn't go. And this is too impulsive to be a B wave. So it's really unclear. I'll be looking for a sell setup in here. It's really, there's really no setup to so to speak. It's I'd be staying out of it until we get some sort of a nice setup. You really want it to break a nice impulse up here, breaking that top, and then a bullish flag. Well, you're only looking for a flag, and then you could look for the buy. But it's very choppy, you know. So it's not really giving us that setup that we want in the direction we want. Looking at WTI again, you know, this has gone too far. Wave Z's gone too far. We've lost all the bearish divergence, so we're just looking for a correction in here, some sort of a correction, before we get more upside. On the H4, we did have that bull hidden that I mentioned, but it never went and broke that top. Looks like we'll get an A. This is looking like a B, and then we'll get a C up. But just looking at price action, we get looks like an A, B, C. We may get some sort of a flat in here before we get an A, B, C. For an A, B, C, then you get that larger A, B, C. So yeah, it's it may turn really. We may get a large correction, a really large correction in here. Looking at the H1, we did have that bearish divergence, and we were looking for this sell, but it never went and broke the low. Yeah, see, this is looking very choppy in here, and we got 3 down breaking the low. So more than likely, this is an A, B. We'll get one up in here for a flat, and then we get that A, B, C. You could scalp this one up in here if you get the setup. And then you'd be looking for, you know, yourself set up for this wave down here. Bitcoin on the daily. So we were looking for that A, B, C as a large flat. We got a nice impulse up, and price bounced off that 100 fib, and then we got that nice impulse up, but we got that very deep correction. So I was sort of thinking that this is just going to be a correction in here, and then one down, another one down. It's sort of starting to go. We go down to the H4. It didn't play the game, unfortunately, because we were looking for that A, B, C, like I mentioned, but this C wave didn't break up here, and now it's broken. It's got to the target eventually, you know, that 100 fib, but you know, this is like an A, B, C in here, so we may get a large flat in here, and then we get an A, B, C. You really need a wait for this in here, you know, to give you some sort of a structure, and then you want to wait for that bullish setup, you know, and then you could look for the buy. Other than that, you're really looking for a sell for this, like this C down in here. On the H1, you know, it's looking bullish. You know, H1 is looking bullish, and we do have like a bull hidden here, you know. And you're getting a bullish sort of flag in here, so you could look for that buy, but it's really only a scalp to break that top, because then we'll start to get that bearish divergence. If we just go down onto the M15 quickly, and we'll see if we're getting, yeah, see, we got bearish hidden on here on the M15, so we may get another one down here for an A, B, C, and then you get that A, B, C, and an A, B, but you'd have to be careful with the buy, because it may just break that top and then the bear hidden play out. So yeah, it's quite difficult. It does look bullish at this stage, you know, because we do have that nice impulse up. So if you do get, you know, a nice correction or bullish flag in here, you can look for a buy. to break the top, but it's really only a scalp to break the top. This top up here. SPX on the daily. Yeah, like I mentioned last weekly outlook, that I was frustrated because we didn't get this up here. I was waiting for this. Well, I was looking for this to give us that flat in here, but now it has given us that flat, and we can still look at this as an expanding flat before we get an A, B, C. And we are at the top of the market. So if we do get a sell set up here, it could be well worth it. Looking at the, I'll just remove that. Looking at the H4, we got some sort of a, yeah, see, it's broken it over here. So we're looking at some sort of a W, X, Y, X2, and then a Z up, probably to finish off the move, and then we'll be looking for that sell set up, because more than likely we'll get a bull hidden here. We may get a bull hidden here, but you could look for a sell down to the 38.2. So we still have room down to this 38.2, and it may get to the 50. We don't really want to see it get much past that 50, because it may change the direction. But are we getting a sell set up? See, I did take this, but yeah, I didn't make anything out of it. So we had a nice flag in here. It didn't go. You know, we had the non-farm payroll. It did fall over, and then it's come back up. Unfortunately, I was looking for a nice trade, but it didn't turn out that way. That's trading. Now, it's going to be hard. It's going to be very hard for me to get back into, because it's come straight back up. Really need to wait for another setup. We need another flag, you know, something to trade. AU on the daily, AU 200, should I say? So we got the Z up. We got that like W, X, Y, X2, Z up. We got the nice impulse down, and we got 1, 2, 3 up. So we really want to see a sell set up for the A, B, C. Looking at the H4, we were looking for that buy for the A, B, C, A, B, C, and it has got up to that target. Doesn't look like it's reversing yet. It looks like another flat up here for more upside, but I think we do have bearish divergence. Yeah, we do have bearish divergence, so it's quite risky to be buying. Unless we get a Z up on the H1, and that's possible, because we can look at this as like a WXY, getting an X2, and then a Z up. We do have a bull hidden here, you know, but it's not really valid to trade. It isn't valid to trade as a bull hidden. You know? It's not. But if you want to learn the hidden divergences and all that, why they're valid, why they're not valid, and all that, you know, you'll have to take the course. But I'd be looking for the sell, you know. I'll be going down on the lower time frame, waiting for a trend line break, little bearish flag, and looking for a sell for at least an A, B, C. You know, and you may get lucky and it could fall over on you. Looking at the DAX on the daily. Yeah, we're looking at that very deep pullback, you know, and then the wave Y, and we're looking this. Strangely enough, we have a nice impulse up without giving us the bearish hidden divergence. Ideally, we get a bear hidden here, and then we could look for that Z down, you know, for the WXY X2, and then the Z down. To look on the lower time frames to see what sort of we don't have any bearish divergence, but I dare say on the H1 we would have, because on the H4, see, we got a bear hidden here as well, you know, like. So I'd be more interested in the sell. And you are getting a sell set up here. You're getting a flag in here. So yeah, you know, if you get some sort of A, B, C up here on the lower time frames, trend line break, little bearish flag, you know, you can look for that, at least an A, B, C. Take half off at the 100 fib, and it may just let the rest run, and it may fall over on you. The FTSE on the daily, this is very similar as well. You know, we got that Z up on the daily, and it got a nice trend line break, and it's just gone straight back up. And this is probably the reason why, because we got 1, 2, 3 up here breaking that top, so it may be some sort of expanding flat, right, for an A. Well, it's not even that. It's gone too far. Yeah, usually we'd like to see a sell set up. You know, we'd like to see this nice impulse and then some sort of correction and more downside, but instead we've got an impulse up, so makes it very difficult. Yeah, and this one's broken the top as well. You know, there's no bear hidden because we've broken this up here. Man, I'd be staying out of it, you know. I mean, it's risky. It's not, I mean, it's giving us a sort of a bearish setup here, but it's a very risky. You're better off to take one of the others, in my opinion. You know, I'd be taking one of the others, because this one, it's not really, because we've got a bull hidden here, you know, so this can be a flat for an A, B, and we get more upside. But this is looking bearish. You know, you could, if you were going to take, I'd take a very small position. Yeah. So I hope you liked the weekly outlook. If you did, hit the thumbs up, and I'll enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you out there next week.